Hello guys, hello everyone, good afternoon. Almost good evening. So today we'll have the pleasure to speak, to have a nice chat with Rose from Botanics for those two amazing products that we have here that I just discovered recently. So happy, honestly, to know a little bit more about them and also to meet Rose that just arrived now. Here we are. Just a second. Be almost connected with the Rose. Can't wait to have a couple of drinks with the Bucks Botanic. Here we are.
Hello.
Hello, Rose. Oh, what a beautiful background you have.
Oh, thank you. It's all lots of dried botanicals and things that we have in there for experimenting with.
That's really nice. I wasn't expecting that, honestly, when we had the chat on the phone. And I said, okay, yeah, but this is really nice.
Yeah, good.
So, thank you. Thank you very much, first of all, for letting me discover your product, because I had a chance to try them and to experiment a little bit in the last few days. And as I said, I'm always honest, and they are great in terms not only of the quality of the products and flavor, but also I was quite impressed about your effort in towards sustainability.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. It's really important to us. So yeah, the flavors and the sustainability, both really, big things for us.
So when did everything started from the adventure of Bucks Botanic?
Yeah, well, it started really with the wild. So we were always looking at wild flavors. Started when Chris and I met, and we'd go walking and climbing and out in the open. And I was teaching him all about plants and flowers and all this sort of thing. And he was a chef, had been a chef. And he'd say, "Oh, it's all right, this Rose, but can I eat it?" And so we started foraging, and that's 20 years ago. And we were foraging and learning about flavours and using the flavours in all sorts of things, whether it was jams and jellies or cooking dinner or making wines or just so many things. And then we ended up buying a wood, which sounds a bit weird, but we lived in a rented house, and so we got a mortgage on a wood instead of a house. And then we started teaching about all the foraging and the plant identification and how people could add interest to their diets by finding some wild flavours and putting those in with their meals.
Wow.
Did that for 15 years. Teaching all about these wild flavours. And then we thought, right, this is great, but we can't do it forevermore. We should. People had asked, if we would make products and if they could buy the things that they tasted, because at the end of each course, would give them different things that we'd made to inspire them and give them the recipes. So they might be tasting some gooseberry and elderflower vodka or something that we'd made, or some pickled wild garlic buds, or also absolutely all sorts of things. And they'd want to buy them, but we never sold them, and we'd just try and explain to them that we wanted them to work sustainably and look after their little patch, their little bramble bush or whatever it was. Just make the diet more interesting and feed the soul as well, But then in the end, we were persuaded that we should actually make products and go to market with it. But we wanted to make sure it was sustainable, so we went for farmed ingredients. And so wherever they come from abroad, it's fair trade, and it's organic. So it's treading very lightly on the planet as well. And hopefully being sustainable and being good to as many people as possible. That was always the plan.
But definitely, what I can say, because I saw it when I received your lovely package, that is not only the ingredient that you just mentioned, they are like sustainable, but also I would say pretty much the whole bottle and the packaging as well. When you send it, it's like made of recycling product, because the label. I mean, if you want to then just go a little bit in details, but the label is made of recycled.
Yeah, sugarcane waste. Yeah, it's come from sugarcane. Yeah, it's the sort of the husks that they don't use after they've extracted all the sugar from it.
So, okay, and then I remember that the plastic, which is not really like a plastic, the foil just to cover the cap is also biodegradable. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a thing called PLA, polylactic acid. It's made from starch, so it's not actually plastic. Although it looks like plastic, it isn't. But yeah, it's all these little tiny things that whenever we need something, we try and go about it in the very best way we can, whether it's transport or even just saving water when we're distilling. We have a circulatory system so that we're not wasting water. It's not just going down the drain. And yeah, it's all of it. It's one of those things that it's always just been important to our lives. And so we always thought, if we're going to make this a business and it's our future, we've got to do it treading as lightly on the planet as possible.
Oh, well.
It's quite a shock to us, really, working in the world of business and bars and, the excitement of places like the Gong bar and chatting to you. We're used to walking around in a wood, to be honest, not big business.
Well, it's like in the way we can. We also try, and we are trying, especially for the future menu, to be as more sustainable as possible, which is sometimes is one of probably the biggest challenge in a high volume cocktail bar as we are, because we want to make a menu that, of course, is like represents the place and also the company where we work. We want to attract a wider range of people, but at the same time, making something interesting, a little bit more complex every year, but also being more and more sustainable, it's a big challenge. So try to recycle like peel of fruit, or what we are doing for the menu that we just launched in December. We are trying to use one ingredient in common for two recipes.
Yes.
So we just work not only in a way that we use the same ingredient in different way, but also doing like this, we try to recycle, for example, a part of the ingredient that usually you waste as ingredient for something else. And
yeah, so much sense. Yeah.
We need to play our part in as much as we can. I want to start making one of the two drinks that I create for today, which is a kind of twist on a martini, and it's based on sea buckthorn, which I found very unique, honestly. Can you tell me, in the meantime, while I'm preparing the cocktail, what's the inspiration you have for sea buckthorn for the botanicals, and then, of course, after for the verbena while I'm making it?
Yeah, so sea buckthorn, that's an ingredient that actually came from our wild experience of our old business. So it is a berry that does grow wild on the coast in this country, but it's mostly used sort of more in Europe and places. It's often used in sort of skincare and things like that, but it's full of antioxidants. It's a very sort of healthy berry, but it's the berry that you use, and it's got a very interesting flavour. So the flavour is somewhere between peach, passion fruit and very sharp lemon, if you taste it straight from the bush. It's a strange one. When they ripen, they're a bright orange colour, just like the label on the bottle. And then as they dry and become a little bit older, they go more brown. And they do a thing which is called bletting, and they become more fragrant and more sort of aromatic, more floral. So I have some here actually in a little jar. So you can see those are brown, look more like raisins really. So those are dried berries, and they're quite very dry and light. But when they're fresh off the bush, they're bright orange and really, really tart. But they're great for using in milky dishes. So they make a lovely cheesecake or ice cream or custard. You only need a small amount though. And the cream and all the fat that's in the cream really makes the flavour sort of become more fragrant, but it's got that slight sort of acidity and bitterness, but the fruitiness, it is a really weird flavour, sea buckthorn. But yeah, so it was one of those things that we've used for a lot of years in different things with our foraging past, but it's farmed.
I think I never tasted sea buckthorn in my life. And now finally, I can say that at least I know a little bit more. But
well, in the recipe there is Seville orange and rosemary in there as well in the Bach's Botanics. So it's not just purely sea buckthorn. So there will be things you're a little bit familiar with in there.
Actually, I can say that I also, now that you say rosemary, I found a little bit of like a Mediterranean aromas. I mean, I'm from Italy, so you know, every time I smell rosemary, it just come in my mind like the memories of when I was in Italy, even because I love rosemary. But it's very complex, so it's not only rosemary. You have also a little bit of like a tropical fruit, as you said, like passion fruit, and it's really, really nice. Plus, when you then taste it, you also have a pleasant bitterness.
Yeah.
And of course, a little bit of acidity. So what I'm doing now with the sea buckthorn, I decided to make a low ABV cocktails with a touch of dry vermouth. I just used Olen. Then I just muddle in the mixing glass 2 small cherry tomatoes, and I had a pinch of salt. So I'm literally using something that everyone can have home, or you can easily find in a supermarket without preparing or going crazy. And then I'm just gonna mix with the ice, and then I'm just gonna serve it. So this one, I think it's a nice martini. Again, very, very low in alcohol, because the vermouth itself is a 15%, and I had like 20 ml. So it's, you know, we are talking about less than a sip of a beer probably for this cocktail. And I'm just mixing now. Here we are, and let's see how it's gonna be also. And I really hope that whoever has a bottle of Bach's Botanic home with the sea buckthorn will be able to replicate, and then maybe I can also put the recipes if someone wants.
I love it.
Yeah. So this is the first of our series of 2.
You move that. If you move the verbena bottle, we can see it.
Yeah, let me just also, I'm going to put it up properly, and I'm going to garnish with not a cherry, because it looks like a cherry, but very dark black olive, and that it will stay on the bottom. It looks like a cherry, so I will show you now closer to the camera so you can see it. Here we are.
Oh, that looks so lovely.
So this is just color from the cherries. The 60 ml of sea buckthorn, Bach's Botanic, 20 ml of dry vermouth, a small pinch of salt, and just that's it. Muddle a little bit, mixed with ice, and then garnish with a black olive.
Amazing. I've never put tomatoes with it. I have put brine from olives and things like that. Yeah, I've used olive, but yeah, nice. I can actually get that. Yeah, I bet that's really nice.
Nice. Okay. No, definitely that's a nice way to start and carry on our conversation.
Which vermouth did you use?
I used Dolen dry. Really, I mean, easy again to find. Again, martini dry, or Noelli practice a little bit more strong. So then you can adapt to, of course, your taste. Absolutely feel free. But I just use Dolen dry because I quite like it. And yes, so this is the one with the sea buckthorn. Oh, really, really nice. But can I ask you something that really, really makes me like happy and quite shocked in a positive way when I also check your beautiful brochure that was with the cocktail, sorry, with drinks. So are you using a copper pot still for your... wow, that's...
It's a big copper alembic, one of these big round funny old-fashioned ones, properly handmade in Portugal. They're hand beaten by the craftspeople in northern Portugal. It's it's a lovely thing. It came all the way over from Portugal in a great big box, all packed up. When it came out of its box, it was the shiniest, most beautiful thing ever. And now it's got a lovely patina to it. But yeah, we're distilling in a really traditional way. It's funny because even every day when we distill, when you seal the top, you actually seal it with a bread dough. It's so traditional and old-fashioned. We make up a dough and seal it with that, and that's in case it should ever explode. It's not sealed with anything that could cause a problem. It's just dough, so it would pop off. But yeah, we're distilling in the way that people would have made rose water or lavender water. It's more akin to perfume making, really, what we're doing, than it is gin making. It's very traditional, very hands-on, very old-fashioned, really.
Okay, and can I ask you roughly how long does it take, like a distillation process for making like a bottle? So you distill like a bunch, the botanical all together, or you distill them separately and then you combine them?
Yeah. I don't want to tell you all the tricks of the trade. There's bits of each. But I could tell you, and I see that Martina joined us a little while ago. Hi, Martina. When we first got the still, I was really shocked when we did our first distillation because it was coming out at 1 litre for every 8 minutes. And I thought, no, we're going to be here forever if that's what it takes. And it still takes 8 minutes per litre. Maybe there are ways of speeding it up, but it's a slow process. Because if you think about it, water boils at a higher temperature to alcohol, so it takes a long time to heat up. It's a time-consuming process. I don't know. Maybe we could use a bigger burner.
The final result, I know it takes a lot of effort, but the result, I think you definitely got it. You definitely got it. It definitely pays you back, because I just saw a comment before. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it said we can't get enough of sea buckthorn. They said they're literally loving it, and they're gonna try to replicate this recipe of this martini at home.
Fantastic!
Okay, I also I have hi Emiliano. Good evening. So definitely this one. I mean, I was a little bit thirsty, but also. I really enjoy. What are you drinking? Something I can see.
Yeah, I have verbena and tonic here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's just regular verbena with tonic. I like this one as an aperitif. It's sort of nice, sort of early evening freshness. I find it's very sort of just gets the taste buds going. It's my refreshing one really is verbena.
Okay, so what's your, let's say, for example, for the Bucks Botanic now, what's your perfect serve, or the serve that you recommend to the people to try as a first things to really, really enhance the flavor and the profile of the Bucks Botanic, the sea buckthorn?
Yeah, with the sea buckthorn, I would probably go for a premium tonic with a twist of orange. So I do have one of these here as well that I prepared earlier. So it's just regularly as you would a G&T really. So it's 1 part Backs Botanics, 3 parts tonic, and whichever tonic you like. I do like the Fever Tree. I like the amount of bubbles in it and the amount of bitterness in it. There are some tonics that are sweeter, and I don't like those as much. But it's your personal preference, really. So I like the Fever Tree Premium or the Mediterranean as well. I like that with both of them.
Okay.
But they really are versatile. If you're the sort of person that doesn't like the bitters, then you could do a spritz with soda and lemonade. Or actually, the verbena is really nice with a bit of lemonade and maybe grape juice. And then if you chuck some mint in there and lime, you've got basically an alcohol-free mojito. But it's not just like putting mint and lime into lemonade or something.
Yeah.
You've got the real power and the lingering flavours that make it something that's a really special drink. It feels like a treat, not just like a so what serve. It is a proper alcohol-free drink.
Okay. Well, it just now you mentioned for the verbena, because what you're drinking. So I'm quite familiar with verbena, rather than before Cibactor, even because in Italy we have quite a lot of verbena, and we also have one that, if I'm not wrong, is in the region where I come from, which is Genova, but from the east side, so between Genova and Cinque Terre, we have basically a leaf that's grown wild and is called Erba Luigia. Basically, it's like verbena. It's very lemony, with the same like long leaves, quite narrow but long, and it's very, very, lemony, very aromatic. And I remember I used to make with friends, like during summer, a twist on a mojito with that instead of using the mint. As you just mentioned now that you can use like with a little bit of lemon or lime and the tonic, or soda, you make a kind of twist on mojito. And I'm gonna make now a recipe that's it really inspired me, verbena, to use also a couple of different ingredients, but still something that you can get home. But can I also ask you, what's the inspiration for these beautiful labels for both of them? Because they are kind of like a work of art. I mean, they're so nice. They really gives the idea of the mix of botanicals there inside, but they are really, really beautiful. I mean, there is anything behind in terms of like inspiration, or because they're great?
Yeah, it's interesting that you should ask. We used a local design agency in Leeds to do them, and our brief to them was we wanted something classic, something that wouldn't date, but something that was very natural. But we also were really interested on the sort of the artistic patterns of Gustav Klimt and some of the sort of the old artists, 20th century artists, and those patchwork patterns that were really luxurious. So we gave them this brief, and our very clever creative director at the agency came up with these designs, and we were like, "Wow, they're great! They're lovely illustrations." And he said, "No, they're not. They're actually plant cells through an electron microscope. So if you can see like a circle coming round,
yes.
So if you imagine that is the outside of the stem of a plant, through the electron microscope, it shows all the little cells where the plant is taking all the nutrients through the plant's vessels to feed it. So yeah, it's quite sort of techie biology, really, but I just think that they're so beautiful.
Basically, this circle, you said, the circle around, basically, that is a little bit darker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. So this one is, I think, it's another small detail that makes a difference. And again, it's about also these details that, for my experience, but I think most of the people will agree, when you tell the guest or something like that, I mean, honestly, you can't have someone say, no, I don't want to try, because there are so many details that I mean, I think 9 people out of 10 will say, yeah, I will definitely try it. And that's great. So what I'm doing now for verbena, I literally cut half of kiwi, okay, that I'm going to just use for my second cocktail, which is a long drink with the verbena. I'm just going to gently muzzle a little bit the kiwi while we are just talking. And then I'm going to add, just for an extra touch of acidity, but literally a little bit of cider vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
English cider vinegar. So be careful. I will use like literally the equivalent of 5 ml, no more, because I think it's already quite a lot. Then honey, simple honey. The nice things of honey is that you can play with the honey you want, because of course there are many different kind of honey, but what I use is a kind of like a wildflower honey, quite light in flavor, because otherwise if you use something stronger you might take over the profile of the bucks. And okay, just a tiny bit, here we are. So then I can just leave it inside and I can just mix with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so what else I just wanted to ask you? First of all, another thing. So where Bucks is located in England? Where are you from? Where is your like headquarter where you create this magic?
Yeah, we're up in Yorkshire, up in north. Yeah, we actually live between Harrogate, York, and Leeds, I guess. We're near Ripon, if you've ever heard of that, but we do live in the middle of nowhere. And then we have a little distillery down the road, about half an hour from home, and that's where we go and we do our distilling. But yeah, we're up in Yorkshire.
Nice. I mean, I was just watching, I think it was last week, there was a kind of like a short documentary about York, because I was supposed to go last year in November, but then unfortunately they announced the second lockdown. I was supposed to go for a little bit long weekend in York.
Yeah.
But unfortunately we had to cancel for obvious reasons. And I was watching this documentary, and I'm very passionate about history, as people knows, especially my friends. Kind of like I consider myself a kind of like nerd of history, especially drinks history and cocktail history. And when I documentary, I was like quite sad because York is full of history. I mean, it's like York by history. So I will definitely. When I will definitely come up to York, we're gonna come to see you there.
Definitely. Well, if you come towards the end of the year, our sea buckthorn might have some berries on it, because we have some in the wood. We planted some in a sandy place because it likes to grow on sand, and it might have some berries on. So yeah, we can meet up and you can have a taste of the raw berry, and then you'll know.
Is it? So what's that? Because but we also know that UK has quite a good and exceptional variety of also botanicals, just also they grow just here and nowhere else. So what, for example, you have apart from sea buckthorn, other like botanicals or flower that they are quite unique for the region and the place where you are there, and then maybe they might be also a source of inspiration for future product, or anyway something that is really unique from your region.
I'm
just shaking a little bit.
Yeah, the things that interest me the most, I think, I am a tree lover. I love my plants and my flowers, and I do love the floral fragrances very much. But yeah, woody flavours, I can see that happening at some point. Yeah, we've been messing around with all sorts of things to do with tree flavours. I actually just did a post. Yeah, I was telling you about the drink where I was using the Peychaud's bitters, and we've We've done lots of things with trees, and I was making some birch wine a few years ago. 2013 it was actually. I'd made some birch sap wine, and I've been talking about tapping birch trees recently. And although birch sap itself is very overrated, you taste it when it comes out of a tree, and it tastes just like rainwater. It doesn't taste interesting at all. But if you then made it into a syrup, then you've got an interesting product. And we made it into wine, and we made a fantastic wine. It was like white port. But I would like to work with tree flavours really, and distilling extracts of trees. So whether that was leaves, you can make a wine with oak leaves, and you can make a wine with brown oak leaves or green oak leaves, and you get a different flavour. So the idea of distilling green or brown leaves and getting different flavours from them, I think is really interesting. And if you look at the flavour wheel, and you've got a woody section in the flavour wheel, and if you can balance that with florals and herbal and fruits and citric, and you can get a balanced flavour profile into your distillation, I think that's possibly a way to go. But I shouldn't be saying this on live Instagram, Jen. You've got me telling the secrets.
So, okay, this is...
Oh, that looks gorgeous.
So it's a kind of like a long drink with a green color from kiwi. So I didn't double strain because honestly, first of all, the cocktail is for me, and I really like this. I didn't want to just remove the whole, part and sediment from the kiwi. I know you have the seeds on the bottom that are not really pleasant, but you know what? The cocktail is for me. I like this, and that's it. So,
good for you.
I used 50 ml of Buck's Botanic Verbena. Then I use 5 ml of cider vinegar. This is Aspal, even because my favorite cider is Aspal. So that's why. Half of a kiwi, pretty much like a regular size of a kiwi. Just a little bit of honey. I use like 10 ml just to balance the acidity that comes also from the kiwi. And then I top up with the Mediterranean tonic water.
That's gorgeous. Sounds lovely. That's so healthy as well. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have hardly any calories in there, and just an amazing gut health. The honey and the cider vinegar and the Buck's Botanics. It's all good for you.
That's nice. Oh, nice. Okay, that's really, really refreshing. And okay, now this is a question that you can answer or you cannot. But are you planning or are you working on another flavor, like another Buck's Botanic?
If I had time, I would be. That's the honest answer.
Okay.
We always said that we would try and get verbena and sea buckthorn out there into the marketplace as widely as we could and get those established. And once those were established, then we would work on other flavours. And when we launched, we have 2 more flavours that are already done. And we launched, 2 years or so back. But we've got the branding and everything for 2 more flavours. But we haven't released them because we're still busily working with verbena and sea buckthorn. It's really taken off for us overseas, so we're getting a lot of interest from the States and the Middle East. So, it's really exciting for us because our products don't contain sugar and we don't use any alcohol in the making of the products. They're perfect for the Middle East market. We've had phenomenal interest from overseas. So they're loving the flavours, and so we're doing that at the moment. But I am going to be working on these other flavours, and at some point they'll happen. But at the moment, Yeah, just doing other things, but we are growing. We're recruiting for a digital marketing person at the moment, and we're going to be looking for a generalist to come and help us doing all our things, distilling and all of it. So yeah, as we grow, my role will be more in product development and less in doing other things.
Big step, huh? Big step.
Yeah, that is going to be. It's going to be a big step, but it's going to be really exciting. I've loved the journey so far. It's been really exciting, but very different. My real true passion is messing around with flavours and creating tastes and working with plants. That's really where I feel more at home. So doing things like this is not quite my comfort zone, but I'm getting better.
Well, that's something that I totally understand and admire you, because it's also require a lot of like patience, but also a lot of how can I say, like planning in advance and months in advance, because of course you don't make like a distilled product just combining a couple of botanicals and that's it. So there is a lot of study and research, and also foraging, choosing the right flower or rose or spice, whatever that is like ready in that moment of the year. So no, definitely is. I mean,
I think it's the years as well of learning and experiencing things. So, like I was saying to you about the sea buckthorn tasting different at different stages through its maturation on the bush, and just really looking carefully at things, inspecting things, with your taste buds, and just analysing and all that. And I think it's that experience. I think in a way it's very difficult to actually learn from a book.
Okay. Okay. So can I just ask you, what has been so far since you started your beautiful adventure with the Bucks Botanic, what has been the biggest challenge you have faced so far?
Getting people to respond to emails.
But sometimes it's also my challenge as well.
It's funny because more recently, since we got a PR agent last summer, and we've had some really good PR. People have tasted the drinks. We've got the drinks in front of the right people. They've tasted them, and then we've had the publicity. And since then, it's become a lot easier. And that was something that we should have done sooner, really. But yeah, that was the hardest thing, I think. Yeah. It's a good question.
Yeah, because sometimes, even in the past, I helped a couple of, brands of different, products, different range of products from maybe to come here to enter the UK market. And, the first things I'm also saying now, for those that they asked me until also before, the pandemic, I said, of course, you need to have an high quality product with perhaps a great history behind, but especially for this market, I think majority of the work, especially in the beginning, is of course the product, but is the marketing and the PR. Because otherwise, I always set this example. It's like having a beautiful Ferrari or Rolls Royce, like the most beautiful car, but keeping in your garage, closed, and nobody will ever know that you have probably the most beautiful or most luxury car in your village or your city or in the country. And sometimes, the people that are getting more famous, their product, they are nice, but with a great marketing and PR behind. We live in a era that if you don't push with your marketing, PR, social media, probably you won't be much successful. And so that's why I totally understand what you just say now, because it's like probably the biggest challenge also for those big companies that they're already in business since maybe 50, 60 years, but now they need to adapt themselves to this new era of media and marketing. Oh, I completely understand you. Again, this one is almost gone. Almost
Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the kiwi with the verbena is fabulous. I've been working with kiwi recently, and some of the more acidic fruits, and that verbena makes such a nice sour.
Yeah.
Really nice. I made a butterfly pea syrup the other week. So I just put the butterfly pea flowers into just a regular sugar syrup, so that it turned blue. And then I made a sour. So I had, I think it was 50 mils of verbena, 15 mils of lemon juice, and 10 mils of aquafaba, chickpea juice. And then I put, I think it was 15 mil of the blue sugar syrup in. No, it was 20 mil. I gave it a good old shake. So the whole thing came out pink and fluffy on top. Yeah. But the sour flavour from the lemon, with all of the lemon verbena and its botanicals in there, it was bob on and pink and fluffy. So it was, it's definitely hit the spot for a lot of pink and fluffy people.
Yeah, I've been using butterfly pea flower for a while. Yeah, they're quite fancy with the changing color, turning color when they use like acidic product. I think honestly, it's been a great chat, Rose, and
it's been lovely.
And
I wanted to ask you some questions, Luca, but I don't know what the time is.
No,
Are we finished?
No. The time, I think we still have as much as we want. But yeah, please, absolutely.
I wanted to ask you about alcohol-free cocktails and things at Gong Bar at the Shard. And if you serve alcohol-free cocktails there,
yes,
what customers could find.
So we put quite a lot of attention to the non-alcoholic cocktails. So in the menu that we just launched in December, but unfortunately we could run for only a couple of weeks. There are 14 signature cocktails, and out of these 14 cocktails, 2 are low ABV and 2 are non-alcoholic. So, which means basically like 30% of the menu is dedicated to low ABV and non-alcoholic. Because, and I think for the next one, probably we're going to keep for sure the same, or probably we're going to increase, because there is a demand of non-alcoholic products, but non-alcoholic drinks, But now the people, because there are quite good amount of like non-alcoholic drinks in the market, especially of high quality and with different flavor, now the people start to getting to know about this, and it's very curious. It's a kind of like new world, because until a few years ago, the only option for non-alcoholic drinks in most of the places were a mix of juice and syrups. So thanks to product like yours, we can definitely replicate like the tasting profile, or almost the same tasting profile we have in a martini or in another cocktail, but without using alcohol. And this is fascinating, especially when you present a cocktail like this to a person and you say, taste it, and they say, wow, it's really nice. And then when you say there is no alcohol at all, they are like shocked.
Fantastic, isn't it?
There was just a question before. I just need to read, because there was, I think, from Emiliano. Which are the best advices you can give to someone who wants to put a new beverage on the market? We are thinking something similar to Mistra. Mistra, it's anise-based liquor they have in Italy. So let's say, Rose, what's your advice for someone who wants to, to put a new product, launch a new beverage product in the market?
Yeah, I would make sure that your packaging design is nice and striking, because you want people to remember what it looks like. Make sure it tastes fantastic. Then put your money into PR.
So that's the three advice that you give. So
that would be my advice, yeah. But yeah, be prepared because it's not easy. I would say that as well.
I'm just a top up of my, because I'm still very thirsty, so I'm just adding some verbena to the glass where I had the cocktail before, and just topping up with the Mediterranean lemonade that I have left, because I don't want to waste anything, and also because I really like this verbena. I think it's great for longer, refreshing drinks. Oh, that's really good. Okay, so that was definitely a good advice, because now we have many people that want to launch new products in the market, but again, many new products in the market, and then after 1 year, you just go probably half of them, they still survive.
I think the thing is, there's room for a lot of products. There is room for plenty of products, and the ones that are good will stick around, like you say. It's a shame in some ways if there are some that are not good, that have just got lots of money. But such is life. And it might be that there's some little ones that are great that don't have the money, that don't make it. But yeah, we all try our best. There is definitely room for plenty out there. Let's hope that all the best ones make it.
Okay, what you see is, from your side, how do you see like the market of the non-alcoholic products like yours for this year, let's say 2021, but for the next 3 or 4 years in UK and then globally? What do you see like in terms of like trend? We're gonna still
as it is. Honestly, I think that there will be more brands out there in the UK market, and more brands will go abroad as well.
Okay, I think I still can. Okay, you were just frozen for a couple of seconds.
Yes, were you? Okay. Was I pulling up on your face?
Okay, well, I agree with you, and I think this is going to happen the same. So I think this is something that is going to keep going on for years. But to be honest, I believe that this is like a category that it will stand probably for forever. Like any other category, like the category of spirits, and the category of wine or beer or fermented beverage, like the category itself. I think it will definitely go slowly growing.
There's a sector of the population that really want to go out and have a great time, but don't want to get squiffy. They don't want to be rolling home at the end of the evening. There's still a lot of people that do, but there's a lot of people that want to stay on the best behaviour and on top form. I think with social media, nobody wants to see pictures of themselves when they're drunk. And I think it's great to go out and remember the entire evening, remember all the conversations, remember everything that happened, and you have a fab time, and you don't spend the following day just feeling rotten. I'm not saying there's not a part for alcohol in the world. There definitely is, and we drink and we don't drink, but I think there's a place for alcohol-free, definitely.
Okay, well that's nice to know. So, and I agree with you, and I also believe that from my side, I mean, let's say from the bartender's point of view, but I think there are already, and I'm sure there are already places that are doing this. We will see now like a real and proper drinks menu just dedicated to the non-alcoholic and just separate, or perhaps not separate, because I don't really like the idea to give a separate menu. So that's why, for example, in Gong we have the non-alcoholic and low ABV together with alcoholic drinks, because I think that we need to show that there is nothing less apart from the alcohol, but in terms of quality and research and effort, there is the same that we do for the alcoholic one. But I believe one day we're gonna probably ended up with a menu that is like 50% alcoholic cocktails and 50% non-alcoholic cocktails.
Yeah, I agree. And you can have just as much complexity and flavour and interest. It's like having a tasting menu, isn't it? When you've got all your different little things, you can be like, oh, wow, this one's incredible. And has this one got alcohol? Has this one got alcohol? And they're all just like a tasting menu. So you just spend your evening tasting your different cocktails. And yeah. They are equal. I think
it's a new world. It's a new world of flavor and experimenting, tasting new combination like your product, and so it's gonna be definitely like nice to see what's gonna happen in the next few months, and then next year as well, when the things hopefully will go back to kind of like normality. But the people will drink probably less in a way, like they will probably go out, especially in the beginning. They will go out less time. When they will go out, they will probably spend more money in products with a good quality, with a good flavors, and something that will give a little bit more like an interesting experience rather than just going out for drinking.
Yeah.
Rose, I can't just say thank you because it's not enough. I'm really looking forward to come and see you and your beautiful job that you do for Bucks Botanics up there. Hopefully soon.
I hope so.
Summertime, or like maybe when we will be able to travel a little bit more.
Yeah, well, whenever. Honestly, I know you talked briefly about your interest in history. Well, I'm really interested in history as well. One of my things is Vikings. I really like Vikings, and York is all Viking stuff. I know you're interested in all your history of cocktail books, and I've seen you posting about those. And we have lots of ancient, old recipe books, food books, and brewing books, and all sorts. But we have a lot to talk about, and flavors, and
so
really good.
I'm just thinking that when we're gonna meet, it's not gonna be just about the product, but it's gonna be a long chat, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can tell you about the Viking bead that I bought from Chris that was found in York when they were doing some digging, and he has this bead that came from a Viking, like in the 10th century or something, that was found on the floor in York. And we've been to try and see the place, but it was in lockdown last year and there was too many people, so we came away. So we've never been to see where this bead was dug up. But I just think it's just incredible that people were there and doing the thing.
Oh, that's really surprising. Wow. Okay.
Sorry, it's a bit random. Sorry. Yeah, I should get back on the subject.
No, definitely. I mean, the thing is that if we start between me and you talking about this, we're gonna probably end up like midnight. Now because you mentioned books of like brewing and distilling. When I came to UK back in 2014 and I started doing my collaboration for a magazine and then doing more in my research, I was going until probably 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, I was going almost twice a week to the British Library, which I'm a member of since 2015, I think, and some of the research, or I would say probably 90% of the research for my articles that I've done between 2015, 16 and 17, which were focused on the traditional beverages of the British history, such as, I'll just give you a couple of like a name about like Posset, They start as a drinks, pearl or capillary syrup, so sloe gin, of course, and other things.
Yeah.
Those, my research, they start in those cookery book of the 17th century or even 16th century that luckily they're still kept safely in each library. And you have those recipe of syrups, homemade like syrup of any kind. That of course they were made not just for drink purpose, but for as a medicine, for medicine purpose.
Yeah.
Remedy. And that was one of the most fascinating things and experience so far in my journey as researching, because I would never imagine to find so much in a cookery book of 16th century or 17th century. That it was something that then, of course, through the century, it just came back to us in a different way. I mean, red started as a medicine, and then becoming like an ingredient for cocktail, and still present today in our culture. So it was incredible, really.
That's really interesting. All the herbalism and the ingredients of the plants. It is massively interesting. I think that by the time they've been distilled, there can't be a great deal of those benefits left in them. But there are some incredible benefits in the plants as well as just the flavors.
We just need now to go back a little bit more at the product we have in our land, and maybe just be a little bit more mindful, and maybe also increase a little bit our knowledge of what we have here, because of course, countries like in the Middle East, they have a beautiful range of spices, but here in UK, and I'm not from UK. There are incredible varieties of fruits or flowers. Come on, I don't drink beer, but I love cider. There are more than 200 varieties of apple in UK.
Yeah.
It's just a mention like that, and it's incredible. That's why, again, your products are really, I really love them, because they truly reflect also what you have in your region, the place where you live, and they are great. So.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm so glad that you love them. It really is, really flattering that such a person as yourself from such an amazing bar would love our products.
No, we need to be honest. If there is a product that deserves attention, not only because of the quality, but because of the design and everything, the concept. This is the best we can do, and hopefully we're going to meet also for a drink. I will host you for a drink in a Gong if you will come down to London.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because we did come down just over a year ago. We came to an awards ceremony in the Gong Bar. It was the Grocer's Choice Awards, and we were shortlisted for an award there, which was really interesting because there weren't any other brands like ours. It was sort of groceries, and yeah. But it was an amazing experience, and we came to your bar and we had cocktails and we looked out over the view of Tower Bridge, and it was awesome. And so I can't wait to come back. And the ladies in beautiful long dresses, and the whole thing was just the most superb luxury, and something I'll never forget, actually.
Well, from 17th of May and hopefully forever, we will be able to come for a drink up there, as we said, above the clouds, as we said, because we are quite high. Rose, thank you very much for this. It's been an amazing chat, more than a chat, honestly, like an experience. Sorry?
Thank you, Luca. I've really, really enjoyed it. It's been lovely.
It's been lovely. It's been something that hopefully we're going to do again soon in person. Also because I really want to share this product with my colleagues when I would be able to go back to the hotel. In the meantime, I wish you all the best. But again, we're gonna keep in touch. Again, thank you very much for tonight. It's been great.
Hey, thank you, and yeah, definitely we'll keep in touch. Yeah, I'm hoping to see some lovely pictures of those cocktails, and then I can post them on Instagram and share them with everybody. It's been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much to those who joined us today. This has been like fantastic. Thanks to Rose from Bucks Botanic. Those products they are already, available to purchase online, I believe.
Yes, we have our own website. Or there's you can look on Google. They're at Master of Malt. There's a supermarket chain in the north of England called Booths, and they're sold in booths and quite a lot of other shops. But yeah. Okay. If you haven't looked on our website, there's a stockist list.
Okay. So whoever wants to try these two beauties, guys, I strongly suggest you to get both of them because they are amazing. And again, you are going to be very surprised when you're going to taste them because there is no alcohol, but they are really, really powerful and so tasty that I'm sure you will love it. Once again, thank you very much, Rose.
Oh, thank you.